It's the USA versus Argentina on ESPN Classic. U.S. Soccer presented by the United States Marine Corps. Great crowd, great atmosphere, all kinds of energy in the stadium tonight. It feels like a World Cup. It's just an international friendly. And he is back. Outfield Basile as the head coach. We saw him back in 1994 when he brought his team to the United States. The last club team he coached was the famous Boca Juniors. Bob Bradley, meanwhile, coming back to where he coached in Major League Soccer with the Metro Stars. His son Michael plays on this team and also played for the Metro Stars, but not in front of a crowd like this. Underway from Giant Stadium. Argentina, blue and white stripes. USA, white tops, dark shorts. What is the difference, John, that our fans can expect tonight when you watch Argentina play versus England and Spain, the last two opponents?
Well, as compared to England, England becomes more of a passing side, moving off the ball, not really individually as talented as an Argentine side. Spain, very similar, but in terms of Argentina, they have the difference, and that's a Messi. He's able to explode. They have an Aguero up front as well. Aguero has the pace, he has the skill. So very explosive in terms of breaking out. Very good in transition play as well.
Dempsey will put it back into play. On this left flank, Dempsey putting on some pressure. Comes back to Gabriel Heinze, who used to play with Manchester United. Now with Real Madrid. Won back-to-back titles in Spain. Onyewu knocked it away on the left side. Heath Pierce trying to move it upfield. Messi. Lost it. Good recovery by Mastroeni. You've got to have help coverage when Messi has the ball.
Absolutely. It was a good chase from Michael Bradley, and then he kind of forced him into Pablo. Pablo able to pick the ball up there. But you see, too, the surface is going to be a factor today. Field was just laid down a couple days ago, and it's a bit heavy, so the ball is going to drop. It's not going to be running properly as well on the field. So
it was laid over turf. Turf is what the Red Bulls play on in Major League Soccer. Comes back to Onyewu. Knocked out of play.
Well, I would hope that Onyewu nerves can settle down a little bit, because he can easily dummy that and come back to Tim Howard. Tim Howard's so good with the ball at his feet. So it's going to be about 5-10 minutes until everybody gets the nerves out. Obviously playing against the #1 team in the world, it lifts you up.
We saw those weather conditions. Obviously feels much hotter than 85, and on the field we showed you the thermometer earlier at about 115. That was about an hour or so ago. Knocked away out of play again by Cherundolo. Argentina will have a throw-in from between the benches.
And Argentina a factor as well. We talked about the U.S. and how much travel they've had with those two games, Spain and England. But Argentina as well, lots of travel. They even had problems. They were delayed after the game against Mexico, which they came out and exploded in the first 30 minutes with 3 goals, ended up 4-1. So a lot of players still on the pitch right now in regards to that game, but you got to feel heavy legs at some time.
Knocked back by Gago to Heinze. Chested down by Messi. Michael Bradley with a bump there. Messi so good at riding off those challenges. Played over on that left side. Maxi Rodriguez leaves it. Aguero, he's another player to watch, number 11. He's only 20 years old, but he scored 20 goals in the Spanish league this past season, playing for Atletico Madrid. Fernando Gago, up for Messi on the turn. He'll lead it. Aguero looks, couldn't cross it, took too long with it. He'll find an open man still. Locked it up by Mascherano. Tim Howard is there.
Not the most quality from Mascherano at that cross. He didn't really catch it cleanly. But again, you see Messi just finding the seams in between the defense and the midfield, picking the ball up. He's a player you need to follow. You need to mark tight. Such a dangerous guy.
Eddie Johnson on it, leaving it off for Dempsey. In the middle, it's DeMarcus Beasley. Michael Bradley stepping up. All kinds of rumors about where he'll play next year. Latest rumor was Middlesbrough. U.S. did a much better job of possessing in the Spain game. We'll see how it goes tonight against an Argentina side ranked #1 in the world. Good strong challenge there to win that ball for Aguero. He got it from Maxi Rodriguez. Now inside. Save Howard. Rebound. Save again. Howard stops Julio Cruz.
But we saw just in terms of the transition game, look how quick they explode out there. We're just losing Julio Cruz just a little bit. But look at the quick reaction there from Tim Howard. Excellent play. Good kick save, and then he's quickly up on his feet again to get his hands up, be strong, and that goal.
Timmy Howard, another player who grew up here, playing for the Metro Stars before going on to Manchester United, and now plays with Everton, but this was his stadium.
And you mentioned beforehand, too, a lot of the families that are here today to watch Michael Bradley, watch Timmy Howard, all the local Jersey guys.
Maxi Rodriguez from the corner. Played out, headed up. Argentina looks, nodded down, it's blocked. Beasley takes off with it. Beasley pushing it ahead to Dempsey. Eddie Johnson makes a run. Dempsey pulls it back, leaves it off. Donovan. Landon trying to chip it in. He was looking for Beasley. When those two guys are in form, one of the good things about them is that they do work well together.
Yeah, they do. And you're looking for that early combination play so you can settle the things down. And when you got Dempsey coming inside like that on the opposite side of the field, he's linking up. But then the U.S. is really looking for the opposite field to switch it, and no one's there. You got to get Steve Cherundolo a little bit higher if Dempsey comes in.
Here's today's U.S. Marine Corps team profile of the USA. We mentioned the record against Argentina. Yes, they've beaten them twice, but Argentina's won 6 of them. And the USA coming off 2 straight shutouts. That hasn't happened to them in a while. They've been shut out 3 straight times. You have to go back to the late 90s for that. Messi. Pass ahead on the left. Maxi Rodriguez looks. Nice ball. Cruz across. Save knocked out by Danny Caleb. Ball corner.
Well, already the pressure's on. 6 minutes in, second corner. Great position by Danny Caleb there. Plays at the new club Michelin. And you can see here, just the outside, but watch the back heel. Very cheeky. Great timing. And of course there, Danny Caleb in the middle. Actually, he was the one who kept him onside. He could have stepped a little bit, but at the same time, you want a goalkeeper to play honest. I mean, a defender. Play honest. Make sure you clear the ball properly.
Referee's coming over. That's Joel Aguilar Chicas. Argentina will take it short. Messi inside. Cut off at the last moment by Onyewu. It's another corner kick.
Well, one thing's for sure, you can't hesitate in the box there.
Oh, they're going to take that away?
Yeah, they're taking it away. You just got to make sure that you attack the ball. That's the first thing that you're looking to do, and especially with Argentina, who speed of play is so vital to how they break down teams and just the explosiveness that they have. Not one individual, like we said, Messi. But we're talking 5, 6 individuals all the time going forward, and they love to push the defenders on the outside coming forward as well.
Big test today for Danny Caleb, playing in place of Carlos Bocanegra. He and Josh Wolf excused because of family commitments that they had. It's the first time we haven't seen Bocanegra in a while, so we'll see how Caleb goes with Onyewu. The other 2 backs on the outside, Cherundolo and Pierce, stay the same. Cherundolo trying to get through. Knocked away by Rodriguez. They're so technical in the tight spaces.
Yeah, and you just saw like a 4v2 right there. You know, playing out of it. You always tell players, don't just launch it forward. He's offside there, but you always tell players, don't just launch it up the field. You want to be able to play out of problems, play out of trouble, and they find solutions quickly.
They seem to take it as a challenge. They're hemmed in, but they still try to work their way out, and they get it out.
Yeah. It's important for the U.S. just to get a few passes in with each other and settle things down. Once you get 2, 3, 4 passes, that breaks the pressure. And then it'd be nice for them to actually look up and see if we can switch the point of attack a little bit earlier in this game.
Dempsey, there it is for Beasley. Out wide, looks, crosses, inside for Johnson. Headed away by Argentina. Dempsey waits right there. Couple of fakes, blunt-footed cross, given away, headed away. Brought back down. That was Heath Pierce stepping up. You saw him wearing number 12. Some of the U.S. players have gone and changed uniform numbers. Pierce number 15 now for the U.S. Argentina strong in the counterattack. Arguero lays it off. Wide open is Maxi Rodriguez. Took a while to find him, but they have him now. Messi. Trying to dart through. Good job by Michael Bradley, one-on-one.
That's good play. You see, Dempsey was kind of squeezing in there as well. Michael Bradley stepping up to the ball early. You can't give a player like that too much time and space on the ball. He will hurt you. Especially with the heat today is a massive factor because the speed of play is so fast at this level that after 10 minutes you find yourself trying to recapture and get that second wind already. It's almost like playing in Azteca Stadium with this heat. Smog, you know, it's so humid. But the atmosphere, JP, which you mentioned at the top of the hour, was, you know, electric when these guys walked out in the field, and they use that. They use that to lift them.
Pass intended for Landon. Donovan knocked out for a throw-in. Donovan will give it up to a teammate to take it. Chirundolo. Tackled out by Gago.
And one other thing, it'd be wrong if I didn't mention that the awareness level has to be a lot higher in the focus and concentration because you can't hear. So when players are talking man on, you got to be able to play quickly and know what's around you.
Chirundolo, Freddie Johnson, and the flag goes up. USA is offside.
That was a good step there in the back. Very organized. Heinze back in there. Great experience. Of course, Paradiso on the other side. Good player.
The road to South Africa 2010 begins next Sunday. U.S. men's soccer team playing its first World Cup qualifier. It's on ESPN2 against Barbados. U.S. men's soccer international qualifiers presented by the United States Marine Corps. ESPN2 next Sunday, 5 Eastern. Paradiso plays it to the right. USA headed for California tomorrow. Back to training for really what is 2 legs against Barbados. Sunday in LA, the following Sunday in Barbados. Fernando Gago, right up the middle. Laid off by Argueno. Right side of the field. Messi, he can pop up anywhere. Look at the crowd he draws. Here's the cross. Inside for Cruz. Headed it back across the grain. Swept away by Mastroeni. Heinze. USA and Argentina. 12th minute. Scoreless at Giant Stadium. In front of this massive crowd. Cruz for Fernando Gago. Doubled up there, but he found the open man. Mascherano. The Liverpool midfielder will find Maxi Rodriguez. He's so dangerous. Stepping back was Cruz. Fernando Gago chipping it. And it was behind a couple of players. USA with it. Michael Bradley. Mastroeni, the captain of the Colorado Rapids, finding Chirundolo on the right. Now Dempsey. Bradley. It's some good possession here for the U.S. Beasley keeps it on the wing. Bradley one more time. Dempsey. Eddie Johnson checking back for it to Chirundolo. Dempsey was looking for a knockout of play, but there were, a dozen touches there. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's very good, and that's better from the U.S. because what it allows you is to actually put more players in advanced positions to create options off the ball. If you don't have that and it's 3 against 5 or 4 against 7, it's very difficult to break down this Argentine back line.
Donovan puts it through. Eddie Johnson lays it off. Here's Chirundolo with a cross to the back post for Beasley. He tried to bring it down. It is whistled down. Ball goes back to Argentina.
Well, it's a pretty good build-up from the U.S. and at least creating opportunities wide like that. Steve Chirundolo, I'm sure he knows too. He could probably hit a better service in there, but the main thing is that they're creating these opportunities and opening up the space. So just a final ball, a little bit cleaner. You might have some opportunities in that box.
U.S. Soccer tonight on ESPN Classic, presented by the United States Marine Corps. Knocked away by Mastroeni. Picked up by Javier Mascherano. Now it's Fernando Gago. Video Cruz, well-traveled player. Argueno finds Cruz, he's in! Knocked away by Howard, but Chirundolo did a great job one-on-one there. the other way.
Yeah, that's a great recovery play by Steve Cherundolo. I mean, he's had a long season as well. Talk about a player that's played many games. There's about 5 guys in the U.S. side now who have really had tough seasons, so they're going to feel heavy legs. But look at this. Gets past him, but look at the speed that he gets in there. That first touch by Julio Cruz, plays it Inter Milan. Teammates with Bordiso in the back today. Zanetti, who's not on the field, who's normally the captain. All 3 of those guys are Inter Milan, but look at the run. See, the ball is played already, so, hey, Onyewu. A little bit casual from Onyewu, though, in the back. If you see Cherundolo chasing, maybe you can go and help him and support. There he is right there. You've got to be able to pick out those seams and see how you can cover and balance for players in behind, especially as a center back.
Heinz a throw in. Arguero try to slip it through. Foul was called on Caleb. Plays in the first division in Denmark. Changing clubs this year, playing for Midtjylland.
When we were in England, we were talking to him. I said, how do you pronounce your new club? He said, Michelin. Did you sponsor? Did you get tires?
He told me I did a pretty good job with it.
No, you did well.
I'm going with that.
You did very well.
Free kick. Lionel Messi and Maxi Rodriguez. Take your pick. Both are deadly.
Very good. And, you know, I think it's going to be Maxi Rodriguez because even against Mexico, he took a lot of the free kicks, and he likes to do the in-swinger. Julio Cruz looking for the target, but here we see Messi now looking to take this out-swinger. A lot of pushing and shoving going on inside the box. Dempsey. Danny Califf over there as well. Michael Bradley.
Referee says he's had enough of that, but he's got an eye on it. Now it's just Messi over the ball.
It's important that the defense keeps a high line here.
That curls in, headed high. It was there. Messi put it right there on the table for Gonzalo Rodriguez.
Well, I'll tell you, Gabriel Heinz.
Was that Heinz in there?
Yeah,
too?
gets very free as well. Look at this as this ball comes across. Heinz with a free header, getting in behind Dempsey, Caleb. Not sure whose responsibility that was, but Tim Howard doing a good job just to get to that back post. And Gabriel Heinz knows as well that he should have done better with that, directed at goal, at least put it on goal.
17th minute, Argentina and the USA in this international friendly. Scoreless, Fernando Gago. Broken up there. Mastroeni did a good job. Here's Dempsey. Slowed down, taken down. Free kick US.
Well, it's a great position for Pablo Mastroeni. You know, breaks up the play, gives it to Dempsey, and Dempsey's on the run. And it's very important, though, when Dempsey's on the run that he has options to play to. You see 3 Argentine players around him there. There's only 1 player forward, which is Eddie Johnson. He needs a little bit more. That transition play's got to be quicker for the U.S. to help out, but that's still a great play from Pablo.
Landon Donovan over the ball. The USA's all-time leading goal scorer with 35. And there's a player down for the U.S. Onyewu. And the yellow card was just presented. Let's see to who.
It looked like JP could have been Bordiso, the right back from Inter Milan. You see here just a little bit pushes, shoving.
Yep.
Well,
there's your suspect. That would be him.
Yeah.
Donovan puts it up there. Headed by Johnson, but right at Abondanzieri.
Well, that's a good play, actually. Eddie Johnson, that ball finding it just a little bit behind him, but snapping his neck. Doing a good job as an offside call here, but we saw that type of ball as well hurt the U.S. in England with David Beckham putting it to John Terry. Same type of header, maybe a little bit inside the 18, but good delivery from Landon Donovan, getting his 100th cap. Great accomplishment for any player, really, when you're 26 years old.
Would have had it at the game in Wembley, but he was injured. He was there, but couldn't go. They didn't want to risk it. Here's Donovan. Bumped away by Mascherano, but it's a corner kick for the United States.
You see Landon taking the corners as well as free kicks, so big responsibility with him today, and leading goal scorer on this team, going past Eric Ronaldo. Such a great goal scorer, Eric, in his time as well. Fantastic goals from him.
Onyewu stepping up. Caleb is up there too. Michael Bradley and Eddie Johnson. Donovan swings it inside of Abondanzieri. Punched it out. Kept alive there. He pierced. And that's wide. Coverage of Euro 2008 continues on ESPN2 Monday. A couple of outstanding games. 11:50 a.m. Eastern. Romania takes on France. 2:30 Eastern, the Netherlands. A tough opener against World Cup champions Italy. We've got Andy Gray helping us out in the studio. You've worked with Andy before, haven't you?
I have, actually. Yeah, I got some opportunities to, great experience as well, working with him in Sky Television in England and the UK when I was playing. So, yeah, he's a great guy. Good character as well. Knows the game so well. What a brave player he was. Striker. I mean, I think he would headbutt anybody through a wall. But, you know, he was diving headers type of guy. So it's good to see him as well. He still owes me money.
Oh, he does?
So I can't wait to get it back.
Expect a phone call tomorrow. Aguero was looking for that. He got hit by Caleb. Foul was called. We got a player down for Argentina. Training staff is coming out. Aguero is the player down. Referee's indicated there with that body language. No more talk. I've got it.
Yeah, you see them, just two players going up for the ball here.
Head-to-head.
Yeah, innocuous challenge, really. Both of them focused on the ball and just colliding heads. Didn't look like Danny Caleb seemed to get too much of an injury because it was the front of his forehead. Like when you catch it in the back, JP, or even on the side, sometimes you get that little concern of a slight concussion.
With the training staff tending to Aguero, play has been stopped. Scoreless here. 21st minute. ESPN's presentation of U.S. Soccer is presented by the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. And in part by Sierra Mist. It's that refreshing.
Well, it's important tonight there where we saw, you know, Tim Howard having a word with Pablo Mastroeni, and, you know, Pablo being a veteran player as well. You remember him from the '06 World Cup. Tough, tenacious, but he's a leader. So these older veteran players have got to be able to mix in, you know, with the youth players that are out there as well. And I think it's important that he's playing next to a guy like Michael Bradley. Well, Michael's had such a great season in Heerenveen overseas, 18 goals, scoring goals, but in the national team setup as well, those two can complement each other. The hard tackling, the conversations that go on in the field.
This is the first time we've seen Michael paired with a veteran. Last game, Maurice Edu. The game before that, Ricardo Clark. So let's see how those two play together tonight. Aguero, meanwhile, getting ready to come back in with the referee's permission. 22nd minute. Sent upfield by Heinze. Onyewu nodded it down, but it's going to be picked up by Rodriguez. He stumbled. That helped the U.S. certainly as Dempsey carries it back to Donovan. Knocked back to Cherundolo. Bradley pressured there. And look who's fighting hard for that ball. The guy that just came back. Aguero.
So, you know, from the U.S. point of view, it's got to be play in, play back, and get it switched out because Pierce is wide open on the other side. And DeMarcus Beasley doing a good job of really stretching high on the left-hand side, so we've got to be from one side of the field to the other quicker.
Cruz picked off there. Dempsey almost ran into the referee, and now the foul was called, and that could be confrontational. Fernando Gago with Dempsey, but the U.S. played it quickly. Well done there. Beasley now pressured. That was messy on him. Here's DeMarcus. DeMarcus Beasley holding it. He plays for Rangers. Trying to get that through. Argentina cutting it off, and a foul on the United States. Eddie Johnson.
You see him as well. You know, they're doing well to, you know, quick start that play. Michael Bradley did a good job, get it down and play it, but still looking for that little bit neat and tidy in the final third. Relax, have some composure, calm down, keep the ball in the attacking half of the field because that's when things open up. Play the patience game, the waiting game.
Argentina will play this one up. Aguero snuck through and he almost got in there. Here's Mastroeni to Donovan. He'll quickly find Cherundolo, pressured by Aguero. Up for Landon on the right. Landon Donovan, nice job there. You talked about him before. He's a game breaker. He's a difference maker. Those are the things that he does. The little touch, the little things that make him the great player that he is.
And that was an excellent touch because you're looking over your shoulder waiting for the defender to come. Great touch inside. But again, Gago doing so well of spreading himself through that center part of the midfield and doubling up on players.
Dempsey to Donovan. Landon puts it in another gear. Shoulder to shoulder, down he goes from Heinze. And they're going to call out the other way.
Well, You like to see that anyway from Landon, just pushing it ahead and say, take a chance, be a risk taker. And Hines is such a smart player. He didn't have the pace to stay with Landon, but he did enough to get his body in front of him. Landon trying to draw the foul there, but you'd like to see that from players.
Lionel Messi, two players immediately go to him. He's able to beat them both and get a corner. They stayed with him, but he's still dangerous. He's just 20 years old. He made his debut with Barcelona at age 17. Sent inside. Howard's got it. Nice grab.
Very solid from Howard as he picks that ball off of Julio Cruz's head. And, you see Onyewu in a good position as well just to stay there. But Howard calling the shots in his box. You want that. You want somebody to command the box back behind like that.
25 minutes gone. John, your thoughts on this first half?
Well, there's been times where Argentina have done so well at keeping the ball and moving it. The USA just has to have a little bit more patience, like I said. Spread the ball, but actually get players forward. If you want to keep the ball, you got to get players forward. Or spread out, go back to Howard, and open up the game a little bit. No reason to force it. You don't need to force it, especially against the #1 team in the world.
Switched over by Heinze towards Bordiso. Fernando Gago's pass to Messi, right back to Fernando Gago, left side, Heinze. Zabaleta, long for Arguero. Easily from Onyewu. Pete Pierce looking early for Eddie Johnson. He headed it back, but there was no one close enough to it. And Argentina is able to play it back to goal. And they'll go back to goal again from the halfway line. That draws some whistles from the crowd. Heinze. Mascherano. And then Rodriguez back to Heinze. Fernando Gago crosses the halfway line and then finds an open net. Zabaleta plays for Espanyol. Tim Howard pressured. Maxi Rodriguez was after him. Fernando Gago turning it upfield. Lionel Messi getting it through. A chance to save for Howard. Again, Cruz is denied. He's at his number tonight.
Well, you see how quickly things can change. You give Lionel Messi just a little bit too much space, and he's going to pick you apart with a thread the needle pass. Great run by Cruz, but what a save, Tim Howard. Spreading himself, anticipating, coming out quickly as well, and closing that angle down. Great job.
The quickness of the pass. Argentina didn't look like they were in a threatening position. All of a sudden, the blink of an eye, they are.
Absolutely, but the things that lead to that is the U.S. getting possession. Well, I'll go back to that in a minute, but here's that ball through. Julio Cruz with the timing, and there's Tim Howard. Julio Cruz is probably thinking to himself, and it always happens to strikers, like, oh, I could have actually walked the ball around him. But when a keeper commits like that, it's a reaction. It's a quick reaction.
He's had 3 chances so far.
But what I was saying before was the U.S. getting possession well, but knocking the long ball and trying to threaten Eddie Johnson. The second ball coming into midfield and Argentina turning, coming right at it. Not good. Got to change it up.
Foul was called, and here's where you definitely don't want to give up a free kick to Argentina.
Well, we saw against Mexico, the last game for Argentina in the friendly, the 4-1 game, how quickly they can put the ball down and get it, in play and surprise you. Right now they're setting this up. Number of players, Cruz, Maxi Rodriguez, of course Messi, likes to get on the ball, Arguero. Heinze likes to strike it from distance at times as well. Solid ball. It's important that the wall does their job. They stand strong, maybe jump as well. Howard only looking for 4, but now he's adding Mastroeni into the wall to make it 5 from that distance.
Most people would expect Messi to take it. He does. He puts it over, and over Howard as well.
Well, it's a good job by the wall. They did well. Tim Howard had it covered all the way. Messi looking for that corner, but it wasn't a whipped ball. It didn't have a lot of pace on it and velocity.
He's a player that can make things happen. Scoring against Mexico the other night, and at age 20, one of the leaders of this team offensively.
Again, the Argentines picking the ball up in midfield there, and you're hoping that a little bit more organization. Clint Dempsey can sit back inside there until we have good possession. The U.S. has good possession, then they can go forward, but he's kind of going high early. He needs to stay in there, be compact for that second ball coming down.
Zabaleta leaves it off for Mascherano. Came to the States with 20 players. Colaccini had to go home for personal reasons, but out of the players that they brought here, not one of them plays for a club team in Argentina or in South America. They're all in Europe, 11 players playing in Spain. That's a hard challenge. And Dempsey is down.
And you know that look as well, because that's one of those simple challenges that just come right across your calf or something. It catches its sore. And good little skill from Dempsey there. Looking to take him on, keep possession. See this? He just tucks it behind his heel. Look at this. Nice one. Great skill. Gago, nothing he can do there. He's off balance. He just has to foul.
Knocked out a play by Argentina.
Right now, sorry, JP, you're looking for the options off the ball. As soon as it gets fouled, put it down and play, and I know it's hot. Put it down and play quickly. Maybe you could surprise them.
Here's Mastroeni. Michael Bradley from distance. Dempsey, he'll have a go. It's deflected. What a chance there for the USA to get a corner kick. That deflection nearly resulted in a goal.
And you know what? It came about because of the composure on the ball. No one's looking to flick a ball there, thinking that a player's coming to hit him. Good pass from Michael Bradley here. Composure from Dempsey. Good strike. Hey, you got to take chances there. You see Hines almost back heel it into his own net. Almost finding the back post. Gabriel Hines up.
The U.S. bench was excited. They thought they had one. Donovan ready. Hooks it in. Abadonzieri's got that one. And he'll immediately look to jumpstart the offense. What a distribution that was. Arguero waiting for some help. But he's good enough to create on his own. Now he'll lay it on. Messi denied by Beasley. What a great job there from Beasley. And now he's fouled by Messi.
Good cover and balance from the U.S. side. And what a quick transition, JP, as you mentioned. But there it is again. Here's DeMarcus taking the ball. Messi says, you know what? I'll chase you down. And that's what he's different as well. Because he's not just an offense, and all these players are some of the best teams in the world, like Brazil. They recover the ball so quickly because they hustle, they chase you down, they close you down quickly. Messi does that quite well.
Side flag up on Eddie Johnson. Pretty much a single striker tonight with Landon Donovan just behind him. Our MLS season continues on ESPN2 next Thursday. Revolution traveling to Houston. It's a rematch of the last two MLS Cups. MLS Primetime Thursday presented by Adidas on ESPN2 Thursday at 9 Eastern. While Landon Donovan was here last night, his LA team won their game against Colorado. They're back in first place in the West. New England, of course, first place in the East. Beckham returned, but Donovan was here.
And you talk about, we said all the great goalkeepers, American keepers that go overseas and do well. Matt Reese is one of those that hasn't gone overseas, but he's doing very well. Good goalkeeper, very accomplished in the MLS, and had an excellent game the other night. 11 saves. Really stood up big.
Free kick is coming here for Argentina. The 34th minute. Available subs tonight. Jay DeMerit, Frankie Haydick, Eddie Lewis. Frankie Haydick, by the way, played last night. 90 minutes in Columbus's loss to San Jose. Flies in for this one tonight.
Is that why he was rubbing his eyes?
Maybe. You'd think he'd be tired, but he's such a competitor. and he's ready to go. Those are the available subs. Freddie Adu had a very good night the other night in the Spain game. I would think we would see him sometime today, especially with 6 subs being allowed.
Yeah, you'd like to see him, and I think Bob Bradley, you'll probably reward him coming on second half because he did have a great display in the first half. Very alive, great energy and touch. And look at this.
Pierce cracks it. Nice save out of Munzieri. That was well done by Heath Pierce, showing more confidence with each game as he starts each one.
Yeah, and it's a good ball that gets put through him as well, and that ball bounces. And we did say it doesn't bounce as much as it would if it was on a regular pitch like a turf or something like that. But a great strike as well from him. Good timing, executing. The technique is so important. It's good to see a left back getting forward there. Going back to Freddie Adu, he had a great game the other night in the first half, found good spots in the field. He actually tried to take players on, which opened up the game for him.
A pass intended for Cruz. Here's a quick shot, right at Howard. No rebound. Again, Timmy stays strong, hanging on to everything this evening. There's young Freddie Adu, who remembers his very first goal as a pro. It came right here in this stadium. Came on as a sub, beat Johnny Walker, the Metro Stars. He told us yesterday he remembers it vividly. As you might expect, your first pro goal. Maxi Rodriguez plays it over. Zavaleta chipping in. Cruz was up there. Couldn't get to that. Good job there on the challenge defensively for the U.S. Johnson was after that. Heinze was on him. Dempsey.
Much better from Dempsey, staying in that position there. Eddie Johnson doing a great job making runs, trying to create something up front, at least be a target. This is good from the U.S.
Mastroeni. Right side, Cherundolo. Mastroeni one more time for Dempsey. Eddie Johnson. Try to find Donovan. He'll get it. Landon cut it back for Bradley. Michael Bradley, one stop. Try to pull it back. Down he goes. Play on. Advantage call is a good one. U.S. will keep it and play it to Pierce. The challenge there by Fernando Gago. That was relentless. Great job by the Argentinian. And now down is Zabaleta. For all that effort, though, the USA come away empty. Not even a chance on goal there.
Well, he did a good job, actually. You know, you see Landon Donovan. He's just kind of using his body to shield it, holding off Gonzalo Rodriguez, and does a good job. But hey, the referee trying to let the game play on as much as he can. Could have given a foul there.
He could have.
Could have given a foul.
I think Bradley looked so confident on the ball that he didn't want to take away the advantage, although the USA might have wanted a free kick there instead.
And Michael Bradley reacted quickly, you know, and that's why the ref continued to play on.
Lionel Messi. Zavaleta, 38th minute. Scoreless first half, but there have been chances. Mascherano. Free kick is coming for Argentina. They wanted to play it quick. The U.S. didn't let them, and now here they go. Knocked away. Mascherano chases. Beasley's there. Goal kick. U.S.
Well, it's a smart play. I mean, I don't see the foul from Pablo Mascherano as he goes into that challenge, but smart play by Michael Bradley to stand in front of the ball, delay things, slow it down. And then you saw the pace as well from DeMarcus Beasley. It's good to see him moving this quickly to shield it off.
Let's go downstairs to Alan Hopkins.
Thanks, JP. Well, the one thing that Bob Bradley has been trying to get his midfield to do the entire half is to, one, step up. They've been way too deep. And the second thing, play more. He felt like they need to be on their toes and do some good things to be dangerous, JP.
Donovan tried to do that, Allen, and he was denied. In the meantime, an Argentina player is down as that ball was cleared out of play to tend to the injured player.
Well, going back to that, it was good individual effort from Landon Donovan. I thought he got fouled, actually. He took another extra touch just away. Looked like he got clipped there. Well, again, there it is, the one-on-one, and just a little bit there. Kind of maybe pushed it away, but it looked like he slid in from the left-hand side.
How does Landon look to you coming back 2 games injured with a groin?
He looks good. I mean, you know, it doesn't look like he's slowed down at all. There's no half of his pace off or anything. So, and the main thing, too, is that in a situation like this, you're playing against some of the best players in the world. He still finding those seams and looking for the ball, which is very important, especially when you have an Eddie Johnson playing as that target guy to relieve some pressure. They want to be able to find that long ball, but like I was saying before, and I think Bob Bradley's saying now, Dempsey, midfield, center midfielder Pablo, Michael Bradley, left side Beasley, push up higher. You've got to support that ball when it's played, because the second ball is dropping down, and Argentina's just sitting there.
Fernando Gago is the injured player. Ball going back to Argentina. Fernando Gago, with the referee's permission, will come back onto the field. Gabriel Heinze. Coverage of Euro 2008 continues on Tuesday. 2 games in Group D. Spain and Russia. 2:30. Greece comes back to take on Sweden. Greece won it in 2004. Euro 2008 on ESPN2. Tuesday. All the games on our ESPN family of networks. Cruz trying to get it through. Ball's going to belong to the U.S. Good hustle from Pierce and Arguello. An important stretch here. Last 5 minutes of the first half. If you're the USA, what do you have to do to keep this like this?
Well, first of all, here we see the replay and the ball being played through. Arguello has so much pace. Pierce doing a good job just to get in there and shield that ball out. But they need to slow the game down, keep possession of it, but make sure that they stretch themselves on this field. It's a big field. It's hot. Argentina, they could be tired as well from the Mexican match. They don't want to be chasing the ball. Move the ball. There's nothing faster than the ball in the field.
Dempsey is back to get it. He was Argentina's #1 goalkeeper at the last World Cup. Argentina will push it upfield, and that's cut off. It's read well by Caleb. Towards Dempsey. Gabriel Heinze. Maxi Rodriguez. Fernando Gago. And in the middle, Mascherano. Kept it going. Onyewu tied up his man. Tackled away. Great job by Caleb.
Look at the run from Beasley.
Donovan trying to find him. Berdiso read it well, cut it off, cleared it. U.S. will get it back. Pierce was stepping up. Mastroeni. Cherundolo. 43rd minute. USA and Argentina scoreless at Giant Stadium. Dempsey knotted down there by Johnson right at Abandonzieri, but a lot of possession. A nice cross inside and ends up with a shot on goal.
Yeah, it's a decent cross. It's kind of a half chance there, and Eddie Johnson does a good job of getting down to this ball. Crosses defender. You see the header. A little bit better possession from the U.S. as well. We like that, especially towards the end of the game. But I love the explosive run from DeMarcus Beasley. At the end of this half, we talked about his injury that kept him out with Glasgow Rangers throughout the season for so long. But the fitness is great. Good to see Beasley back there. I know Bob Bradley yesterday, talking to you and I, just saying, I'm still concerned about his knee.
How long does it take for a guy like Beasley to get himself back into that fitness?
Well, it takes games. You got to get game fitness. It doesn't matter how much training you're doing. I mean, it helps, but the game fitness and sharpness, that's why he's getting these games, so he could be ready for June 15th. Again, let's look at the big picture here. This is great competition, but it's about preparing for June 15th in the qualifying stages of the World Cup.
44th minute. USA and Argentina in front of this great crowd at Giant Stadium on ESPN Classic. Hope you're enjoying this one tonight as we are from here. Fernando Gago. Picked off. Cherundolo read it. Dempsey takes off. Trying to find Beasley. Donovan was the orchestra leader, pointing out to Dempsey that DeMarcus was making that run.
Yeah, well, Berdiso was in good protection there, good cover as well. I'm thinking Eddie Johnson's man, you want to lay that ball to early. Give it to him early. Let's see the foot race there, Gabriel Heinze.
We had a foot race at the other end as well for Argentina. Coming up at halftime, the Dick's Sporting Goods halftime report. We'll go back to the studio, get an update on today's action from the Euro 2008 Championship. A couple of games were played today, and then we'll come back here with some first half highlights. First 2 days of Euro, some teams played better than the team that actually got the win, but sometimes that happens. We saw that yesterday. We saw that a little bit today, too.
Saw it today with Croatia, didn't we? Croatia getting the penalty 1-0, and then Germany with the 2-0 win. Podolski, some goals from Podolski.
Zabaleta. Cherundolo took it around. Maxi Rodriguez. But he'll get it back for Argentina. Lionel Messi. The 45th minute, Argentina looking for one good chance here before the halftime ends. Blocked by Mastroeni. Oh, by Pierce, 15, not 25. Johnson to Bradley. Upfield, U.S. with Donovan. He found Bradley. Argentina back in the ball. A couple of minutes added on here in stoppage time, and we're in that category right now.
And the fans can be happy actually with this first half. The atmosphere is electric here. They're enthusiastic. There's been some great chances at both ends.
Messi chipping it. Cruz gets his balance back. Walks in. Save Howard. Tim Howard his own Julio Cruz tonight.
Well, what did he say about Tim Howard? Excellent, excellent save.
Messi again. Argentina with a little momentum here. Messi has it blocked away. Corner kick is coming.
Yeah, Tim Howard just pushing his players on. You saw there, Messi picking up the second ball, and it takes 3 defenders from the U.S. to slow him down and get a block in it. But that is great sacrifice from the U.S. defenders, and also what a great save from Tim Howard. 2 one-on-one situations with the same player, Julio Cruz. You know, going into halftime, it's so important to keep this clean sheet right now. But that could be a lift for the U.S. If they go in at 0-0, that's a great confidence builder.
Short corner, Arguero. Looks, crosses inside, headed as a pass, and then the foul on Argentina. Tim Howard has been amazing in this first half.
He's done so well his positioning, but again, here's the second play with Messi. Good defending here, just from Dempsey, who actually doubles back, and that's great hustle from the right side of midfield. Here's the one chip over, beating the offside trap. Julio Cruz tries to pick out the far corner. Tim Howard spreading himself big. Good save. Keeping the U.S. in it. That's what you want from a goalkeeper. You want him to make the saves he should make, and then pull up some of the big saves once in a while.
That's it, halftime. Tim Howard, 6'3", 210, playing even bigger in this first half. Landon, Donovan of the USA. Tim Howard, they played well in this first half. It is scoreless from Giant Stadium. We will have a Euro 2008 update for you coming up, and then we'll be returning to Giant Stadium. It's the USA versus Argentina on ESPN Classic. U.S. Soccer presented by the United States Marine Corps. Great crowd, great atmosphere, all kinds of energy in the stadium tonight. It feels like a World Cup. It's just an international friendly. And he is back. Outfield Basile as the head coach. We saw him back in 1994 when he brought his team to the United States. The last club team he coached was the famous Boca Juniors. Bob Bradley, meanwhile, coming back to where he coached in Major League Soccer with the Metro Stars. His son Michael plays on this team and also played for the Metro Stars, but not in front of a crowd like this. Underway from Giant Stadium. Argentina, blue and white stripes. USA, white tops, dark shorts. What is the difference, John, that our fans can expect tonight when you watch Argentina play versus England and Spain, the last two opponents?
Well, as compared to England, England becomes more of a passing side, moving off the ball, not really individually as talented as an Argentine side. Spain, very similar, but in terms of Argentina, they have the difference, and that's a Messi. He's able to explode. They have an Aguero up front as well. Aguero has the pace, he has the skill. So very explosive in terms of breaking out. Very good in transition play as well.
Abadonzieri will put it back into play. On this left flank, Dempsey putting on some pressure. Comes back to Gabriel Heinze, who used to play with Manchester United. Now with Real Madrid. Won back-to-back titles in Spain.
Excellent play. Quick kick save, and then he's quickly up on his feet again to get his hands up, be strong, and that goal.
Timmy Howard, another player who grew up here, playing for the Metro Stars before going on to Manchester United, and now plays with Everton, but this was his stadium.
And you mentioned beforehand, too, a lot of the families that are here today to watch Michael Bradley, watch Timmy Howard, all the local Jersey guys.
Maxi Rodriguez from the corner. Played out, headed up, Argentina looks, knotted down, it's blocked. Beasley takes off with it. Beasley pushing it ahead to Dempsey. Eddie Johnson makes a run. Dempsey pulls it back, leaves it off. Donovan. Landon trying to chip it in. He was looking for Beasley. When those two guys are in form, one of the good things about them is that they do work well together.
Yeah, they do. And you're looking for that early combination play so you can settle the things down. And when you got Dempsey coming inside like that on the opposite side of the field, he's linking up. But then the U.S. is really looking for the opposite field to switch it, and no one's there. You got to get Steve Cherundolo a little bit higher if Dempsey comes in.
Here's today's U.S. Marine Corps team profile of the USA. We mentioned the record against Argentina. Yes, they've beaten them twice, but Argentina's won 6 of them. And the USA coming off 2 straight shutouts. That hasn't happened to them in a while. They've been shut out 3 straight times. You have to go back to the late 90s for that. Messi. Pass ahead on the left. Maxi Rodriguez looks. Nice ball. Cruz across. Save knocked out by Danny Caleb. Ball corner.
Well, already the pressure's on. 6 minutes in, second corner. Great position by Danny Caleb there. Plays at the new club Michelin. And
Yewu knocked it away on the left side. Heath Pierce trying to move it upfield. Messi. Lost it. Good recovery by Mastroeni. You've got to have help coverage when Messi has the ball.
Absolutely. It was a good chase from Michael Bradley, and then he kind of forced him into Pablo. Pablo able to pick the ball up there. But you see, too, the surface is going to be a factor today. Field was just laid down a couple days ago, and it's a bit heavy, so the ball's going to drop. It's not going to be running properly as well on the field. So
it was laid over turf. Turf is what the Red Bulls play on in Major League Soccer. Comes back to Onyewu. Knocked out of play.
Well, I would hope that Onyewu nerves can settle down a little bit, because he can easily dummy that and come back to Tim Howard. Tim Howard's so good with the ball at his feet. So it's going to be about 5-10 minutes until everybody gets their nerves out. Obviously playing against the #1 team in the world, it lifts you up.
We saw those weather conditions. Obviously feels much hotter than 85. And on the field, we showed you the thermometer earlier at about 115. That was about an hour or so ago. Knocked away out of play again by Cherundolo. Argentina will have a throw-in from between the benches.
And Argentina a factor as well. We talked about the U.S. and how much travel they've had with those 2 games, Spain and England. But Argentina as well, lots of travel. They even had problems. They were delayed after the game against Mexico, which they came out and exploded in the first 30 minutes with 3 goals, ended up 4-1. So a lot of players still on the pitch right now in regards to that game, but you got to feel heavy legs at some time.
Knocked back by Gago to Heinze. Chested down by Messi.
You can see here, just the outside, but watch the back heel. Very cheeky, great timing. And of course there, Danny Caleb in the middle. Actually, he was the one who kept him onside. He could have stepped a little bit, but at the same time, you want a goalkeeper to play honest. I mean, a defender. Play honest, make sure you clear the ball properly.
Referee's coming over. That's Joel Aguilar Chicas. Argentina will take it short. Messi inside. Cut off at the last moment by Onyewu. It's another corner kick.
Well, one thing's for sure, you can't hesitate in the box there.
Oh, they're going to take that away?
Yeah, they're taking it away. You just got to make sure that you attack the ball. That's the first thing that you're looking to do, and especially with Argentina, who speed of play is so vital to how they break down teams, and just the explosiveness that they have. Not one individual, like we said, Messi. But we're talking 5-6 individuals all the time going forward, and they love to push the defenders on the outside coming forward as well.
Big test today for Danny Caleb, playing in place of Carlos Bocanegra. He and Josh Wolf excused because of family commitments that they had. It's the first time we haven't seen Bocanegra in a while, so we'll see how Caleb goes with Onyewu. The other 2 backs on the outside, Cherundolo and Pierce, stay the same. Cherundolo trying to get through. Knocked away by Rodriguez. They're so technical in the tight spaces.
And you just saw like a 4v2 right there. You know, playing out of it. You always tell players, don't just launch it forward. He's offside there, but you always tell players, don't just launch it up the field. You want to be able to play out of problems. Play out of...
Michael Bradley with a bump there. Messi so good at riding off those challenges. Played over on that left side. Maxi Rodriguez leaves it. Arguero, he's another player to watch, number 11. He's only 20 years old, but he scored 20 goals in the Spanish league this past season, playing for Atletico Madrid. Fernando Gago, up for Messi on the turn. He'll lead it. Arguero looks, couldn't cross it, took too long with it. He'll find an open man still. Locked it up by Mascherano. Tim Howard is there.
Not the most quality from Mascherano at that cross. He didn't really catch it cleanly. But again, you see Messi just finding the seams in between the defense and the midfield, picking the ball up. He's a player you need to follow. You need to mark tight. Such a dangerous guy.
Eddie Johnson on it, leaving it off for Dempsey. In the middle, it's DeMarcus Beasley. Michael Bradley stepping up. All kinds of rumors about where he'll play next year. Latest rumor was Middlesbrough. U.S. did a much better job of possessing in the Spain game. We'll see how it goes tonight against an Argentina side, ranked #1 in the world. Good strong challenge there to win that ball for Arguero. He got it from Maxi Rodriguez. Now inside, save Howard, rebound, save again. Howard stops Julio Cruz.
Well, we saw just in terms of the transition game, look how quick they explode out there. We're just losing Julio Cruz just a little bit, but look at the quick reaction there from Tim Howard.